TrapX, and on the right hand side is sort of a view of kind of a based on a blocks, how that whole interaction would happen between the STC TrapX and be it any analytics platform or be it the Spectro server. Uh, so before I go into the demo, I want to talk about the filters that we are supporting in this in this uh, TrapX, right? And as we'll see the actual script, this will become more clearer, right? So the typical filters are the date time, the source IP, the agent IP, and I'd encourage you to refer our documentation where we have provided very detailed, understanding of what are the filters that we are supporting, what is the corresponding description, and what are the example filter values. So again, key filters here, totally 6 filters we have right now. Date time, source IP, agent IP, and then trap type, and then specific type and enterprise. Now, point to note is on the specific type, we have 6 types of SNMP trap depending on the values. So depending on the values, you could have it could be an authentication failure or a link down or a warm startup. So when I show the demo, I'll show how we can filter based on these specific uh, trap type. Now, so these were the 6 filters. Again, so when we create the entire sort of script for the TrapX, so we have the filters and then we have corresponding actions, right? So we could have, file. So this particular action would actually log the traps to a file, and we could have forward, we could have break, we could have TCP. Now the TCP, forwards trap through a TCP connection. Again, so TCP, there's a variation to it. We could also have a TCP buff, which would actually buffer the traps, right? So we could have blind. The blind would forward the traps without parsing or decoding them, and then we could have exec. We could have NAT. Again, all these actions, satisfy a particular use case depending on how you want to use the TrapX. For example, in case of NAT, you could change the mask the IP. But So these are the sample scripts. For example, the first one again. So what you see here is the asterisks. These are the 6 filter types, and then depending on changing the particular asterisk, you could actually activate a particular filter. For example, in this case, uh, we're forwarding trap with SNMP trap value. In this case, it's 1. So this is a typo there. But so the general concept being, we have the filter options, 6 filter options, and then we have the command or the action that it takes, and that's how you construct a sample script and run the SNMP TrapX action. So with that, let me actually go into demo system and then show some of these uh, ones. For that, what we have done right now is we have a Spectro, a one-click console setup, and then we have sort of created a, wherein we are constantly pushing traps into these machines. So what you can see right now is the most current trap. So this is the trap that's being pushed, and it's refreshing very quickly. So that's why this is the latest trap that has just come in. Now, if we want to say, for example, this is a V3 trap, and maybe I want to convert it into a V1. So what I need to do is I let me get into the machine here, and what we need to alter is the trapx.config file. It's taking a little bit time here. Yeah. So what you see here is the trapx.config file, and then uh, based on the type of script you type here, right? For example, let me start with this one. Uh, so I want to filter you know any traps that uh, have the fifth one as one. So if we go back to our PowerPoint here, so the fifth yeah, so it was the specific type, right? So I'm trying to filter SNMP traps with value one. So let me go back to the machine there, right? So this is the command. So what I do is I'll save this file, and I'll have to restart the SDC or the secure domain connector, right? So let me do that. So I'm restarting the secure domain connector service, and that has restarted. Now what will happen is, since I filtered the traps to show up as this digit one, and I'll go back and check it in the one click. Yeah. So what you see here is, now I've started to see traps with this digit, trap 6.1, and so that's the trap we see right now. Now if I change that script to reflect 2, then I'll see that corresponding trap. So let me do that. Uh, so I'm changing that script to replace the 1 with 2. And what I'll do again is I'll restart the secure domain controller connector service, and that would actually allow me to see the traps, uh, with 2. So let's wait for it to refresh. Yeah. So you can see I now see the traps with 6.2 is showing up. The one other thing I wanted to showcase here is, let's you know with this, actually I also translated the trap from SNMP V3 to V1. Now if I want to stop that, let me try that. So I change this as translate V3 traps from 1 to 0, and I'll save it again, and I'll have to restart the secure domain connector. So that would actually stop my SNMP V3 translation. And yeah, so you see here, right? So these are again the V3 traps, right? So I stopped the V3 to V1 translation, so now I see the V3 traps. So we could play around with that option. For example, right now we have we could change the community string. We could make it a public domain IP. So all that is possible. I mean, again, depending on what we want to achieve with our TrapX, depending on where we want to take it. So this is sort of a very quick view of what we have done with the SDC TrapX, and very quick demonstration there. And then at this point, I'd like to, throw open the session for any quick questions that folks might have. Uh, okay, and and in the subject matter experts also, you can speak up depending on if there is anything that you want to share. So, I mean, if there are any questions on, let me see. I
Yeah, we
think,
have some question in the chat, and we also have answers.
okay. Was the existing code used to, okay.
Also, please, if you want to ask any live question, you can unmute your line by hitting #6. We still have some time for more question in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Hello, Amit. It's Don LaBerge.
Yeah. Hi, Don. Good morning there. A lot of echo in my voice.
Yeah, horrible echo. So I guess one of my questions was asking if we use the original source code to implement this, or it seems like based on the answers we received, it was rewritten as the new trap handler inside of the secure domain connector. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Hey, Saurabh, JK, I mean, please jump in.
Yes, we referred the actual TrapX code and we implemented in SDC. And so V3 filtering and V3 to V1 translation are the new feature which we introduced in this version of TrapX.
Okay. So the next thing is the documentation states, and I asked for clarification on the documentation page, that the new SDC either functions as the standard SDC did to pull and receive normal traps, or it receives as the trap exploder. Ooh.
No. So we are not allowing, as of now, we are not allowing user to model a device by using SDC TrapX. So we cannot model the device by using that SDC TrapX. So it will just act as a TrapX as of now. We'll see whether we can use the actual SDC and SDC TrapX functionality together with this later.
Okay. So currently, you can either install a standard SDC and pull devices and receive normal traps and not do any processing on them.
Yes. So as part of installer, you will get one checkbox like SDC as a TrapX. So if we select that, so it will be installed as TrapX.
Please press 1 from your dial pad.
All right. And so then the next question some of us talked about amongst ourselves was, is the SDC to Spectrum communication still happening on the 844 port? Or 844?
Yes. So right. So for because SDC TrapX, for V3 filter, V3 trap processing, we need V3 profiles, which Spectrum server is pushing to SDC TrapX. So it will be there.
So the next question
that communication will be there.
You can change the ports that SDC and the secure domain manager use to communicate with each other? Yes?
Yes, we can change. Yes.
So can we install 2 copies of SDC on the same box using different ports to get full functionality out of one system?
2 copies of SDC.
Because right now we have an implementation where we have a secure domain connector that's acting normally. We find it Trap Exploder, classic Trap Exploder installed on the same box. So we have the TrapX functionality using the previous version, and we have SDC functionality. So right now we have 6 machines set up in fault-tolerant pairs around the world, and to move that to the new version, we'd have to go to 12 machines because we'd have to double them to have a dedicated SDC machine and a dedicated SDC TrapX machine. And the customer's not going to be happy with doubling its footprint.
So what I understand is, so the requirement is to have SDC and SDC TrapX deployed in the same machine, right? So, if I understand, that machine will be having multi-NIC, and so we'll be, each SDC TrapX will be assigned to one NIC and other SDC to another NIC, right? So that will be the typical deployment which you are looking for, right?
So you're saying that's a possible deployment? Or
okay. So I'm just asking
would be one
requirement.
NIC.
Yeah.
Because this machine is in
one NIC.
It only has one NIC going through the firewall into only has one NIC going through the firewall, into the core network from the DMZ.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
it
there's
will
a
be one
possibility
NIC
they
and
can supply two, but I mean, currently they're just one NIC to the cloud internet and one NIC to the core.
yeah. So one thing I want to say is currently it is not supported right now. But I mean, what is there in the plan is we SDC support. I mean, we can run multiple instances of SDC in a VM having multi NICs, right? So that part actually we are targeting, but that is in the future plan. But I think we need more details on this specific requirement where you are saying that it will be a one NIC, right? So this currently I can say is it's not supported now, but I think we can discuss further and see and we can take it forward based on the
Yeah.
feasibility.
Yeah. So Don, what I'll do is I'll set up a quick catch up between all of us, probably like tomorrow, and then maybe that will help us, plan this. And since we are already sort of starting to plan for the next PI, right? So, yeah.
So now, again, it's easy to ask a question when you don't know what's involved in re-engineering the piece of code.
Yeah.
But if the secure domain connector as it exists today has code in it for handling traps, and I don't know how complex or how simple that code is, the obvious answer for the person who knows nothing about what you're doing is say, well, just take the TrapX code and substitute it into the secure domain connector. Sure, it's not that simple. So I'm sure that was probably entertained, but there's what you can do in the time frame you have to get a solution out the door versus getting the perfect solution out the door. And the perfect solution always takes longer because you run into things you didn't anticipate.
Yeah.
So is there a plan to try and have it, I don't know if you want to call it totally integrated?
Yeah, I mean, so definitely we are looking at those areas also, but as we, I mean, it might make sense to understand the situation a little bit deeper, particularly the one which you are referring to, right? And then we can take it from there. And I'll set the time up, for tomorrow actually. So yeah, that should be fine.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anything else, folks? Okay. So if not, it's over to you, Octavie.
Okay, I can't see any question in the chat, and well, we have some live question before, so I think we are going to wrap up the session. Thank you again for the good presentation, Amit, and thank you to all of our attendees today. Thank you for taking time out of your day to learn more about AIOps and particularly NetOps. So I wish you all a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Octavia, for hosting this session.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.